Faye will believe that he still has what it takes to get the job done with 10 men. Defensive side of the game. Sassi. Shkiri to the center of the park, trying to prop that ball. Mentality for Mali. Just survive the first half and re-strategize at halftime.
Yeah, at halftime and come back a bit stronger, but also the energy rises because you know that you're a man down and you want to compensate for that one man less.
That's a late challenge. He survived a possible booking for having kicked the ball clear, which would be time wasting. Lassana Koulibaly, once again, it's Hannibal that's content with his contribution here, so we'll let that slide. That was a late challenge once again on Hannibal. It's literally become quite the problem to everybody out there marking him. Swift, deliberate, and they all know his delivery is something.
The longer it goes, the tougher it gets.
Referee not happy. Seems to... Oh, is that communication that's coming in from the video assistant referee?
Yeah.
All right, I think there was a clarification that needed to be made. Hannibal will not be happy that their set play has now been exposed.
Yeah. Plan B.
A chance to target the far post. Goalkeeper comes prowling out there and
any breaks as they can get just to catch a breath.
The attack looking to launch a long ball that was pretty speculative. It also says a lot about the numbers that are dropping back. Quite literally about 8 men, and look at this capacity crowd right here at the Mohammed V Stadium. Chance to cross. Yves Bissouma, there's a player on the ground. Looks like there was coming together that the referee might want to look at a little later. Dante Sinayoko, coincidentally, those are their 2 goals. As a chance is whipped in, an opportunity, failing to catch that ball well. Belhaj Mahmoud, well, for the moment, thought he had a clean break, but there's a foul there. Free kick. Sais Ferjani just popping that ball in.
Yeah, looks like it was a foul in the first place. It looks like it just pushed down Dante to the ground there. But fortunately for Mali, he could not find the back of the net and commits a foul.
Some of the tidbit stats. The stories behind the African Cup of Nations 2025. Quick ball popped forward in
tricks to get himself anything.
Tunisia venture forward. A ball impeded, ricochets right back into the possession of the Eagles of Carthage. Twisting one way, then the other, trying to run that ball forward. They are ramping up the pace, trying to up the ante.
It's not easy for them either, because Mali are very solid at the back. I think Coach Tom has done very well in just trying to instill that discipline to sit back and just hold the line and play it as well. So it's going to take something magical from Tunisia to break down this Mali defense.
That's a foul. To venture forward more often, as will Jan Valery. Crosses the ball in. Sassi skips past one into the 18-yard box. Sassi still has possession. Opportunity for a strike, and that's well blocked. Teased up to the flank. Jan Valery threaded in. Could be a good opportunity for a drawback. Ismail Gabi, well, left that with quite a bit more work that needed to be done.
Like against a flank where Tunisia get most of their attacks from will not be very easy for him, so he will need a lot of support and encouragement if he's going to manage that position.
Tension was good, but just popped a little farther than intended. Hannibal once again. Valery. Gabi now to Sassi. Spread to the flank, and this could be something potent. A good cross.
For Mali holding their lines quite well.
Whipped in, nodded away, and that's at the expense of another corner.
Their defensive record is not the best, Tunisia. They're very prone to concede a lot of goals in this tournament, and I'm sure Mali are very aware of that one, and they will want to hope that luck does strike them.
Well, played into the near corner, or near post here, and that ball is going to take something pretty creative here from the Eagles of Carthage to shake down the fortress that Mali have pinned at the back. And here could be an attempt, palmed away by the goalkeeper. Looked like it was an option for him to be able to lay gloves on that and stick with it, but opted to just put it away. Teased out, Ali Abdi now whips the cross back in. That's headed away momentarily right at the edge of the box area, trying to pop it right back in. Acrobatic clearance. Looks good on the eye, but his bigger contributions being on the front foot.
Yeah.
Has found himself having to work more with the back end and defending. Whipped in, goalkeeper forced to palm that away. That was
strong left foot, very good technique, and you can just see it from there as well.
Hannibal goes for the near post again, seems to be his special. And Mahmoud Doumbia is the man that will exit the game. In his place will be Nene Douglas, the man that plays in Turkey for Fenerbahce. He already has had 148 minutes under his belt in this park. Valerie. Hannibal, edge of the box area, brought down. And a chance here to take the shot. That ball deflected. Tunisia. Well, there'll be questions on whether that was simulation by Hannibal.
Taking a shot there, sort of looking for a penalty.
1 hour. No goals as yet. Whipped into the far post. The goalkeeper this time having to swing his hands in a windmill motion. And here comes Nene Douglas. This is the reason why they brought him on. Body check. And that's a free kick. Well, he does possess bags of pace, Nene Douglas. They'll have to keep an eye out for him, especially in such situations.
Yeah.
Ali Abdi finding out firsthand why it might not be a very interesting prospect to try and match now.
Yeah.
And you can understand why their fans feel a little jaded here, that it's still level pegging.
Yeah, the problem with that is that they become a little bit desperate.
Sinayoko releasing Nene Douglas, takes a shot, but it's rising. The warning bells are on. Tunisia need to put this challenge to rest. Lassana Koulibaly ventures forward this time, one-on-one, still wants to hold his man, and that's a foul. Rightly so.
They need to try and up their tempo again, get hold of the possession, and hopefully they can strike using that numerical advantage that they have.
Eve Bissouma thrusts it into the box area. It has Mastori as well as Ismail Grabi that step off the pitch. In their places, Elias Saad and Firas Chaurat are thrown into the fray. Well, two attackers that just haven't been able to really impose themselves on this game. Of smash and grab. If Mali can make this count, the crowd feels it could be an opportunity. It's a free kick. Mali whipped in, high and rising. Disappointment for Amadou Dante, and he'll be the first one to tell you that he's disappointed with that effort. Very, very high critique of himself.
Yeah, he didn't use the right technique. He had the idea, but the technique to keep the ball down was just not the best, and you can see the disappointment on his face. And they let go, and they let off for Tunisia. I mean, that's a very good position for Mali to have found something. But unfortunately, the opportunity goes begging.
Well, there's a troubling start. After 70 minutes of play, let's put that in more layman terms, 1 hour and 10 minutes of action, and still no shot on target for either team.
It was always going to be a very tricky encounter between two teams that have figured each other out, play the same type of football as well, high tempo, good attacks, and they've defended each other very, very well. It will take a bit of a mistake or just the finer details from one of these teams to actually find the back of the net, because they're both very technically and tactically very, very good team. So it's always going to be difficult to score against the other.
The more I think about it, the more I think I might have jinxed it right at the very beginning of the game. Talking about 90 minutes and beyond. Well, that beyond might be a very real possibility. Interesting. Coach Sami Trebelsi has already thrown on 4 substitutes in the fray. Not a lot of options to wiggle around in case we have to go past the 90-minute mark.
Yeah, I think Tunisia will be missing a player. You know, you remember their former captain Muskini?
Yeah.
Always was a match winner for them. Always found a way to get them winning.
Well, Hannibal here stays on his feet and tries to win it on his own. The cutback is good, and that's set away. Abdoulaye Diaby down the bench. It's just that he might not be fully fit, and for me would be the man that plies his trade in Egypt for Al Ahly. Shot 5, Mohamed Ali Ben Ramdan. If he gets onto that pitch, that's a man that can single-handedly drag this game by the scruff of the neck. But for the moment, he stays on the bench, and it's the 11 that are. And for many of the fans of Mali, both here in the stadium and back at home, as this looks like a handball there by Ali Abdi.
Amazing, and they definitely deserve a goal in this game.
Well, Tunisia now on the attack once again. Hannibal goes to the ground, free kick. Well, the stats, the longer it takes.
Otherwise, the memories of the shock exits will start playing in their minds.
Cross whipped in, goalkeeper doing just well enough to palm that away. Started on the wrong foot, but had to quickly draw himself in. There was a brilliantly taken free kick here from Hannibal. Just weaving its way, and the goalkeeper having to make quite the difference.
Play that board for corner kick.
Played short. Nice touch. Whipped in towards the far post. Goalkeeper coming out. This time manages to get hands onto that. Not teased back in. That's easy. Penalties. They lost 2 and 1-1. For the moment, they'll hope that they can push the agenda as long as possible. The longer they stay in the game, the more the belief. Saad drifts away. Saad fancies a shot. Well, it has for the man. Mohamed Ali Ben Ramdan is about to be thrown into the fray and will take the place of Hannibal. He's a legend. He's a talisman. He is ever carries the ball forward. He has an option on the right. Ultimately uses it. Said. And now this is Adi. Thought about getting into cross, but an oncoming. Saad in possession. Gets the ball in. Free header. The flag stays down. Right at the stroke of the death of the game. Somehow, one way or another, they've finally unlocked the defense. The stalemate is no more, and it's celebrations for the Eagles of Carthage. Gets it forward on the attack. This could be something potent here. Mamadou Sangare, foul. That's a free kick, and I don't think he'll survive a booking here. Yassine Meria make an impact in little under 3 minutes. It's asking a little too much, but that's what the tournament deserves now. Magic as a shot here. Penalty from Abdoulaye Diaby. And we might just have redemption here for Mali. 2 penalties they've been given so far. 2 penalties they've scored. Will the spot kick be their lifeline once again? Drama unfolding right here in Casablanca. Dare to dream. Dare to feel. Just when they thought they were home and dry, hold your horses. Set piece was whipped in. Quite a flurry of people in that box area. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's Meria, the man that gave away the free kick in the first place, that might inadvertently had his lead in the atmosphere. Lasina Sinayoko steps up to the plate. Amen Damen has a chance to be hero if he can serve it from the spot. Sinayoko brings the Eagles right back into the contest. Talk about a lifeline. That is one right from the top draw. Just when they were counted out, Mali proved resilient. The draw masters. Pressure, delivering a third penalty. And that is the final act to the second stanza of this game. There will be extra time and the dreaded penalties beyond if we cannot get a winner. 2 goals scored in the second half. Pressure intercepted here by Koulibaly. Good hold-up play. And still has possession. Romping forward. A chance here to cross the ball in, but to assert themselves. Talbi to Meria. They tried to launch it forward. Mali on the front foot. If only his pass at the end had been just as good. A chance here for a shot, and it's blocked. Sinayoko appeals for the referee's intervention. Not so sure Lightning will strike twice in the same place. He could fancy a shot, but didn't find the space. Kiri with a shot here. And the goalkeeper just manages to smother that down. He gets the reprisal. Referee sticks with the initial decision. It will not count. And quite easy to see why. The initial shot, Romdan was already offside even when he made that pass. Much as they looked like they were almost level.
Yeah, and he was coming out from the offside position. So, good call.
Oh, another attempt going forward. Ferras plays it back. Saad, possession, twisting one way, then the other. Tunisia beginning to string together a slew of passes. And now they lose possession. Chance for a counter-attack is on. Sprayed forward. Bilal Toure, he's already on a yellow card. That's matching orders now. There's a substitution here. I don't think we've had the last of this, as there will be a change here in the ranks. Aliou Dieng will get to exit the pitch, and in will come Ibrahima Sissoko. Quite so, rightly so, still on the pitch. Apologies there. It is the first booking for Meria. A host of these players should be quite physically and mentally exhausted, but they somehow need to keep it going. There's a tag and a free kick awarded. Itself pretty well, having been deployed into the defensive slot since that red card. But now they must hold firm again. Played short. Ooh, missing to make contact with that ball. In 2015. 31-year-old centre-back came into this game after an injury to Dylan Braun earlier in the game, and will be the first man to step up and attempt to get one past Diarra. Oh, the stadium is an absolute bedlam of sound. It's going bonkers in here. Lines up, steps in, straight, nails it, top bins. Oh, you can't keep that out. You just can't.
Quality from the man that literally sent this game to penalties with his handball. And he opens up with a beautiful penalty. He will definitely love that one.
Well, that's experience there, and it shows. And the roar that is drowned in the sound around the stadium tells an interesting story. Up next, skipper captain and one of their talisman. He hasn't been at his best. Man that plays for Tottenham Hotspurs made his debut for the national team in 2016. Bissouma sends it sky high. You don't want to be that player, but it's the misfortune that befalls Bissouma. Sending it high and away, and it's advantage Tunisia.
Wow. Good idea, poor execution. Sends it over the bar there and just puts his team now in a lot of pressure.
All the pressure mounts. Someone has to step up and get the job done. Ali Abdi is the man that is next. Plays for Nice. Fires it high. Similar shot. Would you believe that? For a moment, you'll be forgiven for thinking these fellows are attempting rugby conversions, because all those balls rising high and away from the goal area.
Yeah, took a big lift from Bissouma's penalty spot there, and he probably thinks that's the aim of the exercise, forgetting that he has to actually score. Very, very poor penalty from a player who has had a very good game.
Plays for Algeria, has so far converted 3 penalties in this edition of the African Cup of Nations. If anybody knows how to take them, it's this man. But this is a whole other kettle of fish. Lassine Sinayoko almost made the run up here, but the ball might have moved slightly, so he'll make that run up once again. Can he restore parity? He buries it!
Mr. Penalty himself, he knows what he needs to do, and he does exactly what he has to do, and gives some of his luck to his goalkeeper Diarra, hoping that he can make one save at least.
Well, that should tell you the stakes we play at right now, if you're able to elicit such emotion from Coach Tom. Up next, Elias Saad, the man that does play the game here for Augsburg in Germany. Need to put Tunisia back on the front foot. Calmly, coolly rolls that to the back of the net. Surgical precision.
If penalty was a person, then Saad has just showed us how a penalty is taken. What a good penalty. Very, very cool, calm and collected. Picks his spot very well.
Well, next will be the speedster, Nene Douglas, the man that plays in Fenerbahce in Turkey. 22-year-old who made his debut for Mali in 2022. Doesn't have a very elaborate run up to penalties normally. Just hits it and strikes the upright. The clang of the penalty poles. And all he can do, he's doing to hold back the emotion. But now Mali, once again, find themselves in a very difficult position.
Oh, very, very difficult position indeed. A hard place on the rock for Mali now. And Diarra does not look like he's saving any penalties tonight.
Well, neither has, none has. And now it's Mohamed Elias Ashori that steps forward. Another one who's very consummate from set play. Man that plays for Copenhagen. Could give Tunisia the advantage here. Makes a slow run up, and the goalkeeper Diarra keeps them in the game. You wanted a goalkeeper to make the save. Well, there is the man that plies his trade for young Africans in Tanzania. And he's doing the deed and doing the most to keep the Mali Eagles flying in this game.
He does deserve to save a penalty. He's been brilliant for Mali, and he makes a really, really good save. He kept his feet on the line, and very, very poor penalty, and a good save from Diarra.
Well, would you believe this? The pressure on Diakite sky high. The mind games played now by the goalkeeper Damen. It's a run up and it's to the roof. And he has a wry smile that seems to say, play your games all day.
Yeah.
I am still in this.
Cheeky penalty, and back pressure is back on Tunisia now, because now they have to score this one. Otherwise, Mali could be looking at taking the winning penalty. But a good penalty from Diakite, just sends it right into the middle of it. Good height, good power, good penalty.
As one of those players that just has to remind you that at the end of the day, it's a game and he's here to play. He always has the element of play.
Yeah, very skillful.
Mohamed Ali Ben Romdan will step up for the all-important penalty. Both teams have converted 2 penalties. Both teams have flopped 2 penalties. He must score. A small casual run up, and the goalkeeper Diarra spotted him a mile away. Well, the headlines might be writing themselves right now, and it's the man Diarra that will cover himself in glory if only the next penalty smacks the net.
Yeah, history about to repeat itself for Tunisia in the penalty shootouts. They're about to be knocked out once again in the penalty shootouts.
Well, there's that old saying, heavy is the head that wears the crown. I can guarantee you, heavy are the boots right now of El Bilal Toure. You wouldn't want to be in his position.
Yeah.
It could be a moment to cover yourself in immortal glory or sheer infamy if he cannot convert. But the job has to be done, and he's set to make a small run up here. This could send Mali to the quarterfinals. Bilal Toure, he does it! The Eagles from Bamako will be in the quarterfinals. They've had to tread the water for hours here. Reduced to 10 men and playing at sheer optimum capacity against all the odds, against all the pressure. Somehow they've just managed to find a way to make it work. A victory here, and what a way to win it. Mali winning on penalties 3-2, and what a game we've had.
What a game we've had indeed. Very, very good football from both sides. Very, very determined, very disciplined going forward and defending from both sides. And it's unfortunate that the game had to be settled through penalties, but it is what it is for today. And like I said earlier to you, Bola, Ibaba and Tunisia have to take the pen and go back home with it, as Mali will take the joy and march on with it into the quarterfinals. And good luck to them for the rest of the tournament.
They came annoyingly, agonizingly close, but at the end of the day, close won't count at the African Cup of Nations. You have to get the job done. And one team showed that they had the mental fortitude and the mantra with it in